Pros. Cool wood buttons. Pro Pilot Assist is great. It's comfortable. Cons. No one-pedal driving. The interior isn't as functional as it should be. Slow charge speed. In December of 2010, the Nissan Leaf became the first electric car to be widely available to Americans since internal combustion engine-powered vehicles took off a century earlier. Compact, cute, and efficient. We dubbed it remarkably unremarkable, in the best possible way. Along 12 years later, and after numerous manufacturers have launched multiple entrants into the EV space, the Leaf finally has an electric stablemate in the Nissan lineup. The question is the 2023 Nissan Ariya electric SUV remarkably unremarkable, or will it stand out in an increasingly crowded field? What's the Nissan Ariya? Although the Leaf was always sort of a niche vehicle for American buyers, the Ariya is aimed at the heart of the American SUV market. Size like the compact Rogue but offering mid-size Murano levels of interior space, the Ariya is the first Nissan to run on the company's new CMF EV platform. The Ariya specs likely won't raise the eyebrows of EV early adopters, but they're instead roughly analogous to the four-cylinder powered compact crossovers Nissan expects most Ariya buyers will be swapping out of. The Ariya launches with a 91 kWh battery pack and a front-mounted motor good for 238 HP and 221 pounds-ft of torque, a healthy power bump over the comparable Rogue. The automaker also plans to offer a dual-motor all-wheel drive version with 389 HP and 442 pounds-ft of torque, as well as an entry-level model with a smaller, 66 kWh battery pack. Toggle menu. Motor Trend logo. Join. Search. Hot Rod logo. Automobile Mag logo. Four-wheeler logo. Truck Trend logo. Super Street logo. Lowrider logo. News. Reviews. Buyer's Guide. New cars. Features. The future. Ultimate rankings. No boring cars. Hot Rod. Truck and off-road. Tech and how-to. Magazine subscriptions. Store. Motor Trend brand. First test. 2023 Nissan Ariya first test, Leaf Take 2. The new electric Ariya SUV attempts to make more of an impression than the Leaf did. Christian Seaboriter Darren Martin Fotografier Oct 14 2022. 010 2023 Nissan Ariya. Filter C, all 19 photos. Nissan Ariya full overview. Pros. Cool wood buttons. Pro Pilot Assist is great. It's comfortable. Cons. No one-pedal driving. The interior isn't as functional as it should be. Slow charge speed. In December of 2010, the Nissan Leaf became the first electric car to be widely available to Americans since internal combustion engine-powered vehicles took off a century earlier. Compact, cute, and efficient. We dubbed it remarkably unremarkable, in the best possible way. Along 12 years later, and after numerous manufacturers have launched multiple entrants into the EV space, the Leaf finally has an electric stablemate in the Nissan lineup. The question is the 2023 Nissan Ariya electric SUV remarkably unremarkable, or will it stand out in an increasingly crowded field? What's the Nissan Ariya? Although the Leaf was always sort of a niche vehicle for American buyers, the Ariya is aimed at the heart of the American SUV market. Size like the compact Rogue but offering mid-size Murano levels of interior space, the Ariya is the first Nissan to run on the company's new CMF EV platform. The Ariya specs likely won't raise the eyebrows of EV early adopters, but they're instead roughly analogous to the four-cylinder powered compact crossovers Nissan expects most Ariya buyers will be swapping out of. The Ariya launches with a 91 kWh battery pack and a front-mounted motor good for 238 HP and 221 pounds-ft of torque, a healthy power bump over the comparable Rogue. The automaker also plans to offer a dual-motor all-wheel drive version with 389 HP and 442 pounds-ft of torque, as well as an entry-level model with a smaller, 66 kWh battery pack. The front drive/large battery Ariya Venture Plus, which starts at $47,125, will be the range champ of the lineup with an EPA estimated range of 304 miles. Our mid-level 2023 Ariya Empower Plus test vehicle $47,125 to start, about $54,000, as equipped with the same battery and motor setup, is rated for 289 miles, while base, small battery/front drive models are rated for 216 miles. Dual motor models aren't rated yet, but expect about 265 miles of range with a large battery pack. While the Ariya's range is respectable, its peak charge rate of just 130 kilowatts isn't particularly impressive. Rivals like the Ford Mustang Mach-E reach 150 kilowatts, while the Hyundai Ioniq 5 and Kia EV6 hit 235 kilowatts. The general rule of thumb for shoppers new to EVs, generally speaking, the higher the peak charge rate, the less time you'll spend tethered on a road trip. Unlike the Leaf, the Ariya fast charges using the common CCS1 connector instead of Nissan's preferred, and increasingly rare stateside HEDMO plug. What's the Ariya like to drive? First, the acceleration and braking numbers. You can skip the next 2 paragraphs if you'd like to go straight into the more subjective stuff. Like the Leaf, the Ariya isn't a numbers car. Our front-wheel drive test SUV accelerated from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 7.5 seconds and covered the quarter mile in 15.8 seconds at 92.9 miles per hour. Although it's quicker than many of its internal combustion rivals, that's slower than all of its electric competition. Of comparably equipped single-motor electric SUVs, the Ariya is closest to the Volkswagen ID.4, which hits 60 miles per hour in 7.3 seconds and runs the quarter mile in 15.8 seconds at 88.8 miles per hour. The EV6 GT line and Mustang Mach-E California Route 1 Edition are quicker still, hitting 60 miles per hour in 6.5 and 6.3 seconds respectively, and crossing the quarter mile in 15.0 seconds at 95.0 miles per hour and 14.8 seconds at 96.8 miles per hour. If speed is your thing and you want an Ariya, you'll likely want to wait for the dual-motor version. The Ariya is similarly average in our braking and handling courses. It brakes from 60 to 0 miles per hour in 128 feet. The ID.4, EV6, and Mach-E all come in at 123 or 124 feet, and it laps the figure 8 in 27.6 seconds at in 0.61 grams average, far behind the Kia and Ford, but just edging out the Volkswagen. But the Ariya, clearly, isn't about outright performance. It's engineered in many ways to be a comfortable compact crossover that just so happens to be electric. On that front it succeeds. Acceleration isn't neck-snapping, but the Ariya pulls away with the sort of confidence-inspiring authority of a torquey V6, and it has good passing power. Many EVs feature a full one-pedal driving mode that allows the driver to accelerate and brake with just the throttle. But the Ariya unfortunately doesn't. Its E-step mode ups regenerative braking, but it's incapable by design of actually bringing the Ariya to a stop. More annoying than having to press the Nissan's mushy brake pedal is the fact that the pedal automatically moves in E-step mode, making it feel like the brake pedal is trying to escape your right foot when you're slowing down. The Ariya rides and steers reasonably well. On the latter front, initial turn-in is surprisingly quick. That makes the Nissan fun when negotiating traffic, but the overall feel is otherwise numb when going down the road. The ride is comfortable, but there is a fair bit of body motion over expansion joints, potholes, and curves. All-wheel drive Ariyas can vary motor torque front and rear to control the body's pitch. The front-drive version would benefit from some mitigation strategies too. The best part about the Ariya is the latest version of ProPilot Assist. The advanced driver aid punches well above its weight. It confidently holds its line through bends, accelerates and brakes as a human would, and can even change lanes automatically. It's not quite GM's Super Cruise, but it's close. Would you like to see inside? The Ariya's driving dynamics may be forgettable, but its interior isn't. The open and airy cabin is lovely to look at and be in, even if the execution isn't exactly nailed. The interior incorporates quality-feeling materials, dual screens, a flat floor, and novel features such as a power-operated stash drawer built into the dash, a power-sliding center console, and wood-like trim with integrated touch buttons similar to BMW's approach with the X. The Ariya could use a little polish though. The wood buttons, for example, wash out in direct sunlight and don't always respond the first time you press them. Similarly, the stash drawer in the dash is incredibly useful, but you must press and hold one of the touch points on the wood panel to get the delicate feeling drawer to slowly motor out of the dash. Also, if you drive with it open, A likely possibility since there isn't a ton of storage up front. The button flashes at you angrily. The power-operated center console is of limited utility too. Not only does it sit far higher than the door-mounted armrests, but motoring it backward both takes up rear passenger space and makes it easier for your passengers' items to slide into the driver's feet. Both the console and the drawer would likely be more useful if they were manually operated. Even if some of the tech doesn't work as well as it could, the Ariya package is practical. The front buckets are cushy and couch-like, perfect for long stints in the saddle, while the back is adult-friendly and a fine place to spend time, even if the floor is a bit high due to the battery underneath. Despite the aggressive fastback roofline, the trunk is also spacious, with Nissan's handy divide and hide panels boosting its versatility. The only thing that could make the Ariya more practical would be if it included a frunk like some of its rivals do. Is the Nissan Ariya a good car? At this stage, and unless the dual-motor variant changes things, we fear the new Ariya will suffer the same fate as the Leaf before it. In its current state, this remarkably unremarkable electric SUV isn't particularly competitive when it comes to its performance or most of its tech. Even so, it is a stylish and practical electric alternative to EVs like the ID.4 and, perhaps more important, mainstream crossovers such as the Toyota RAV4 and Honda CR-V. Ultimately, maybe following in the Leaf's tire tracks isn't such a bad thing after all. After 2 generations and counting, it remains among the best-selling EVs in the world. Maybe unremarkable is enough after all.